By 1944, Europe was under the iron grip of Nazi Germany's tyranny. The continent was shrouded in fear and uncertainty, as the Axis powers seemed nearly unstoppable. From the icy fjords of Norway to the sun-drenched islands of Greece, the swastika symbolized oppression and the crushing weight of totalitarian rule. The Eastern Front raged with unimaginable ferocity, where entire cities were reduced to rubble and millions of lives were lost in the brutal conflict. The Red Army grappled with the Wehrmacht in a titanic struggle, each side determined to outlast the other in a war of attrition that would decide the fate of nations. Across the Atlantic, the United States was fully committed to the war effort, mobilizing its vast resources and industrial might to support the Allies. American factories churned out war machinery at an astonishing rate, producing tanks, planes and ships that would be crucial in the fight against the Axis powers. Millions of young men donned uniforms, ready for battle. They left behind families and loved ones, driven by a sense of duty and the hope for a better future. The decisive blow would come on the beaches of Normandy, France on June 6, 1944, D-Day. This massive invasion involving thousands of ships and soldiers marked the beginning of the end for Nazi Germany as the Allies began their push to liberate Europe. The challenge of invading Nazi-occupied Europe was daunting. The English Channel had to be crossed, facing the formidable Atlantic Wall. In London and Washington, strategists planned the massive undertaking. Operation Roundup was envisioned in 1941, but concrete plans took shape in 1943 with General Eisenhower. Early proposals like Operation Sledgehammer were deemed too risky. The Allies focused on North Africa and the Mediterranean for experience. The urgency grew as the Russian army made progress on the Eastern Front. Eventually, Operation Overlord emerged as the master plan for Normandy. The invasion called for a massive air and seaborne assault on a 50-mile stretch. Success relied on surprise, air superiority, and deception. Operation Fortitude misled the Germans about the invasion's true location. Allied air forces bombed German targets to cripple their war machine. The men knew the fate of millions rested on their shoulders. As dawn broke on June 6, 1944, a vast armada of Allied ships approached the shores of Normandy, France. This marked the beginning of one of the most significant military operations in history, D-Day. The first wave of American troops, filled with a mix of anxiety and determination, clambered into their landing craft. They knew the mission ahead was fraught with danger, but they were resolute in their purpose. On Omaha Beach, the American soldiers faced fierce resistance from entrenched German forces. The enemy had fortified their positions with bunkers and machine gun nests, making the beach a deadly gauntlet. Many landing craft were sunk before they could even reach the shore, victims of mines and heavy artillery fire. The waters off the coast were littered with the wreckage of destroyed vessels. Those who managed to make it ashore found themselves pinned down by relentless enemy fire. The beach offered little cover, and every step forward was a struggle for survival. In contrast, at Utah Beach, the landings went more smoothly. The strong currents had pushed the landing craft off course, but this actually worked to their advantage, landing them in a less heavily defended area. Paratroopers had been dropped behind enemy lines to secure the flanks, preventing German reinforcements from reaching the beaches. Their efforts were crucial in ensuring the success of the landings. Naval gunfire and air support played a pivotal role in turning the tide in favor of the Allies. The bombardment from the sea and the skies helped to weaken German defenses and provided much-needed support to the troops on the ground. Throughout the day, American soldiers displayed extraordinary courage and determination. Despite the overwhelming odds, they fought their way inland, securing a foothold that would be crucial for the liberation of Europe. By nightfall on June 6, 1944, the Allies had a foothold in Normandy. The cost was high, but the invasion succeeded. The Atlantic Wall was breached, and the liberation of Europe began. British, Canadian, and Free French forces played vital roles. The landings marked a turning point in World War II. The German army now faced a major Allied presence in Western Europe. The invasion was a victory for democracy over fascism. D-Day marked the beginning of the end for Nazi Germany. The meticulously planned invasion was successful. This led to the Allied advance into Belgium, the Netherlands, and eventually into the heart of Germany. Each liberated town and city brought the Allies closer to victory, boosting morale and weakening Nazi control. The success of D-Day had profound geopolitical implications. It not only hastened the end of the war, but also set the stage for the post-war order, influencing international relations and the balance of power for years to come. The fall of Nazi Germany led to the division of Europe into East and West, eventually culminating in the Cold War, which defined global politics for much of the 20th century. The bravery and sacrifice of the men who fought continue to inspire. Their courage under fire and determination in the face of overwhelming odds are remembered and honored by generations. Brief pause. They are a testament to the enduring strength of the human spirit. The memorials and cemeteries that dot the landscape pay tribute to the resilience and sacrifice of those who fought for a better world, ensuring their legacy lives on.